The following movie is rated R.
Welcome back to the R-Rated podcast. Today's guest is Brenda Blay, my auntie. You might recognize her from the Dr.Phil show. She was recently just on it. She's an aesthetic nurse, and she has a wonderful medical spa, which we're currently sitting in right now. Can't tell. And here she is.
Hey, thank you so much for having
coming
me.
on, of course.
Obviously, I'm a fan of your show.
You're not just on here because you're my aunt.
I know, right? For me, I've always loved the beauty industry.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also been the kind of person that likes to take care. I've been a nurturing person. So a nurse seemed like a natural fit for me.
Yeah.
And I started working in the medical field since high school.
Wow.
Yeah, really young. And I really love that. But this is a way where I can bring my passion for beauty and for nursing together to do something that I really love. So I feel very lucky.
Was it common in movies like that you'd notice like the actresses or actors had like work done like Botox or had their lips done? Because I feel like now it's very common to have that. But like, was that common back then, or is it more of a 2018 trend and on?
Honestly, when I was growing up, I don't remember seeing anyone that looked like they had anything done because it wasn't as common.
Right.
Plastic surgery was for really rich people.
Was it taboo too? Like not really talked about if you did do it? Like,
I feel like it was more movie star stuff. And nowadays anybody can get rejuvenated or can change a little something. It's pretty much available to all.
Yeah.
There are still people out there who don't want people to know, right? I don't want people to know. But it's definitely not as common as it used to be. And I think social media really helped the trend. And I have to say that the transformation of some certain celebrities that did it so publicly live, we saw the change happen. That made it okay.
Yeah.
We really made it okay.
Yeah.
At first, people were kind of hating, oh, so-and-so did this. But then, you know what? Maybe I could get a little something.
Yeah. No, but for me, it's like what I don't like is when they hate, but then they're secretly doing it. It's like, oh, that's not cool. You know what I mean? I've seen that, I feel like a lot.
Everyone has a friend who is natural and never has anything done.
What is natural in your definition?
I feel like I take offense when people say that because what is natural? Is it eating organic? Is it exercising? Is it, just being really authentic to who you are?
Right.
And they use it as if someone who had their lips done is
not natural.
They're now fake.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So does that mean that if someone got their lips done, they're not a real, like they're fake now? Like they're not natural anymore?
Yeah. Where to me natural is.
But what if they work out every single day and they're totally in shape? But they just got their lips done because they have small lips.
Exactly.
That's kind of seems like a big stereotype to throw everyone into, like, oh, like you're fake because you got your lips done, but like you could be super active and have a perfect body and have never touched your body.
Right. And who's to say like what's fake and what's natural?
Right. No, I know, but people will say that because they have
I think what they really probably mean is natural, as in it doesn't look like they had something done. Even if you completely transform your face, as long as it looks like you didn't, it's okay for the people.
Who, like, what celebrity could you like use as an example that like naturally looks like they didn't do anything but they did stuff?
Well, I think Lady Gaga looks amazing. Like I'm such a fan. She looks beautiful.
Right.
And I think that she's done, little things here and there, and she did it in a way that looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with like J-Lo, I feel like is one of them too. Like I feel like she looks the same. Like she's looked the same since like when I was a little kid and she was like in, what was that? Made in Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I feel like she still looks the same from that.
She really does look the same. But you know what? That girl's like working out. You see her all the time.
Right.
And I love that she posts pictures of herself without any makeup on and then all glammed up.
Right.
She does filter, no filter, everything. She keeps it real.
She keeps it real.
So you see her looking like amazing. And then other times you see her looking just, natural. I do a lot of lip filler and people bring in her picture and they say, this is what I want my lips like. It's super common.
Yes. And that same side, like that side, because she's big lips. They're plump.
Yeah, I think so. And now people are starting to have their own look.
Yeah, like
So it
they're-
started like everyone would bring her picture. Everyone brought
but
a
now
picture.
it's more like
Right. And
defined
now
their face.
they're seeing so many other celebrities or, you know, mainstream people that they know that they can say, oh, I like these lips. They bring in pictures of lips they like, but they're not always Kylie anymore. But in the beginning,
Mhm.
that's all you ever saw.
Have clients brought in pictures of like people that obviously have like a filter on their face but they don't maybe know, and they're like, I want to look like this person, but like, you know, like, oh, that's like a filter, like that's not even how they really look. Like, has that happened?
Of course, because that's the image that we see of beauty. Right. So they bring in a filtered face and that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, they can get that without using any kind of product,
right?
Like Botox or fillers. You're young. You have to eat healthy, drink lots of water, get your facials, like take care of your inner self, and your outer self is gonna look so much nicer.
Yeah.
And throw on a filter here and there, right?
Yeah. No, I think because what I've been hearing now is like, especially on social media, like everyone, like I don't know, especially guys who like, oh, girls don't even look like they really do in person because of these filters. Like they look so different. So I'm wondering like if the filters are just going to get so good that maybe you don't even need to get work done anymore, but then you gotta do, because if they see you in person, you're like,
and you know what?
Oh, sure.
That's a conversation that I've had to have with people.
What?
Where they bring me a picture of their social media.
And you're like, that's not real.
No, and they look, and they've made their eyes bigger, they've made their jaw smaller, they
slim their
they
face,
slim their bodies, they slim their face. And I tell them, is this what you want to look like? Because that's the aesthetic, if that's the aesthetic goal, it's almost like the after before the work was ever done.
Right.
So if they want. And if sometimes they say, no, I'm just having fun with it, I always want to make sure that they really are just having fun with the social media and not
taking it,
feeling like they're not good enough who they are all the time. We all want to look our best.
Well, yeah, of course. Like, I don't know anyone who wouldn't want to look good, right? But I also, like, do you feel like it's normalized? Like, do you feel like it's almost standard now? Like, oh, once you hit a certain age, like, oh, you should get stuff done, or does that not even matter? Like,
well, now younger and younger people are getting treatments done.
I've noticed that too.
There's an awareness of skincare for sure. So I see teens all the time getting their skincare. Yeah.
Wow.
They learn about skin cancer from their parents. They learn about these beauty treatments. They come in with their parents who are getting stuff done. So they're just learning. And then lip fillers. Lip fillers are very young. I would say 18 and over.
18 and over.
The average is in their 20s.
When does it cap out? Like, what age? It was like the oldest pair of lips maybe you've done.
80s.
Yeah,
nice. 88 years old.
Okay, I love that. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's like saying fuck it. You know, like I still want to look fabulous. Like I'm gonna get my I love that.
Right.
Wait, that's cool.
It's like just to go back to who you were 10 years ago, right? It's like not to go to 20,
right?
Which is the biggest misconception. You can have your lips done and they can look natural.
Right.
If that's the look you like.
It doesn't always have to be
natural as in what natural is and not. So if they look like a balloon, that's a hint.
That's it.
If you look at somebody's lips and they look like a balloon.
Like it's swollen.
Like that balloon look.
Yeah.
The water balloon that's filled, that's a lip filler job gone wrong.
Yeah.
Or somebody
have
wants
you gotten
that look.
blotched looks where you've had to fix it?
I've had people come in who had their lips done
somewhere else,
and
then you had to fix it, right?
But not to be like a hater.
No.
I hate to even say that.
No, but it had like I've met people that like I went somewhere and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted, and it's like that's your face. Like you're gonna like want it to look right. So,
but in defense of all the aesthetic practitioners out there, clients are very determined and they know what they want. They bring in the pictures,
right? And if it doesn't look like the photo,
we sometimes have to say like that's too big, or I don't think.
So you've
like
actually told your clients like it's too big.
If I thought it was, I have. And if they tell me, no, this is the look I want, because people bring the balloon look in because that's what they want.
Oh,
so
really?
I don't think that.
Yeah.
You know, as a practitioner, you're trying to give the client what they're asking for, but you're giving them advice without judging. So that's the fine line you have to walk.
What do you think is going to be the new look, like, because right now I feel like it's still lips is the trend, maybe butts too, but like, do you think in like 5 years that's still going to be the trend?
Well, a trend that I see is people are using less product.
Okay.
So for women, I would say 40 plus. I see them using less product, where they're starting to say, you know what, I want to be able to raise my eyebrows, and I want to show some expression.
Yeah, right.
I want to look like
angry.
Right. They want their foreheads to match their necks, right? It's like we want to, and we're also getting more comfortable in our own skin.
As we should. It's 2021. Like, you should be able to do whatever you want at this point.
And the younger women, I have to say, they've come to age, like I see this in you, where what do you always say? I do what I want.
Yeah.
So if they want to do it, they don't care. They're just going to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Right? Trends that I see, definitely the fox brow. That's the one where you see the brows lift at the corners. I see that in the Hadid. Hadid sisters. People bring in that picture a lot.
Have people literally come and be like, I want to look like Bella?
Yes. They want those cheeks, the high cheekbones also. And then the chins. So adding a little to the chin. I've been doing a lot of jaw work to make the jaw more prominent. And it also depends culturally also. Some cultures prefer a more prominent jaw, and then others want a smaller jaw, so we can also decrease that.
So if I pulled up Kim Kardashian's picture right now, would you be able to tell me what she has gotten done? Because, she kind of claims that, like, she's more on the natural side.
And you hate to say, like, she has this and she has
not like
that,
in a bad way. I'm just curious. I'm going to pull up a photo.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, she looks flawless.
Yeah, no, she looks gorgeous. Flawless. She's literally someone where I'm like, she's like Benjamin Button. Like, she's like, like, she's getting hotter with age.
Right. She has,
I think she honestly, like, I think it's very inspirational in the beauty world because I'm like, age doesn't mean shit. Like, she just turned 41 and she literally looks better than me.
This is what a 40-year-old one that does some aesthetic work, and I mean, she's getting her facials. She's working out. She's eating her greens. She's getting her Botox. She's getting her fillers. Yeah, she looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks good.
That's the trend.
Is it she's doing it in increments or what? Is she doing it in increments? Like, how is she getting that look versus like other people are not necessarily getting that look?
She never aged. She never let herself go, really.
Right.
And I hate to even say that. Not that she didn't let herself go. She at a very young age, she was able to afford the luxuries of a personal trainer, of, someone that she could get the best skin nutritionist. She could get, a little Botox early on.
Right.
So she can maintain that look. So it's not like she needs to have cosmetic surgery because she never got the sag.
Yeah.
Right. True. She'll eventually get it because we're all going to get it, but we can prolong it. That's the thing. The key is prolonging it, ladies.
Yeah.
And gentlemen, because gentlemen do just as much.
Right. Let's talk about that, because I feel like it's very stereotyped that it's only female getting, like, stuff done, but tell us. Get it done. I'm like, reveal the secrets.
We have couples.
What are the age groups for guys when they come in?
The same age. And so I would say they're from their 20s to, I think men in their 70s are still getting done for sure. But my oldest gentleman client that I have active coming in is in his late 70s.
Wow.
And my youngest is in his mid 20s.
Nice. And is it more face stuff or body stuff? Like, what
all
seems to be really?
So we have cool sculpting.
Yeah.
Other treatments to, work on those little problem areas, kind of sculpting, you would say, like if you work, I know you exercise a lot and take care of yourself. So it's like that, just that one little thing that bothers them, they can freeze it off. And they live in the time that they can do it.
Influencers have a huge part of it too, I feel like, because before, I feel like when you were growing up, it was like celebrities on TV screens or the red carpet where you'd see all that. But now it's like you go on Instagram and everyone looks like a celebrity, like all done up and pretty, like all the influence, So when I watch films, I sometimes realize I'm like, what's missing in the performance? Like something's missing, like something's not like being sold, like emotionally, like, I don't know, like I'm not fully immersed in it. And I think it's because some of the older, I've noticed it with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Expendables. It's a really action movie. There's a lot of stuff going on and they're yelling and jumping. A lot is happening, but the face was the same the whole time. Oh. And I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't, because I was
guys. You have to think these guys are in their late 70s,
right? And that's why I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, hey, if you're acting at 75 and doing this shit, that's pretty impressive, right? But at the same time, I'm also like, damn, did he go a little overboard? I don't know, because he was they're both very handsome men, but now they can't move.
I kind of feel like Sylvester Stallone looks more done.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I think so too.
A little bit more, but he looks great. I think he looks great. I think he's. You could tell that he's had a little bit. I could tell because I'm in the business.
Right.
So if you felt that he looks stiff,
because I could tell, because acting is all about like showing your emotions and on your face expression, and acting is reacting. So when there was a scene and he's like acting with someone in the scene and nothing was coming back, like just words were coming out, but like nothing.
But that's kind of
moving.
his gig if you think about it. He's not. He's an actor that's a very like he does a lot of serious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Serious flip down. Jane Fonda looks amazing.
She's I'm so impressed with her. Like she is gorgeous.
Isn't she like in her 80s?
Mm-hmm. And she's still acting. So she has a show called what is that show called? It's on Netflix. It's about.
I want to watch it.
She's with this other. She has a bestie in the show, and both their husbands end up leaving them for each other. So their husbands end up being age, right? And they're like, 80, 75. They're like, are you kidding me? Like we're 75 years old and you're like saying it now.
Oh my God. It's like, everybody's like, I don't want to be single in my 40s, 50s. And now
so she's kind of like starting over. Right. And so you're following her in this like journey.
That's so cool. I love that.
But like, see, I know that she has work done, but she did at the perfect amount where it's like she's still like you see it in her face, she can still move everything and she's so like yeah. So I feel like it still depends on how much you do.
And the thing about her is she also is, I think that's the art of it. Mm-hmm. So I promised myself that this year for my birthday that I was gonna like have the courage to post a picture of myself no makeup right, and not like filtered.
Yeah.
Good light, of course.
You have to have good light. You have to have good light.
Yeah. But have you ever done it? Have you had the courage to post yourself?
Yeah, I actually did it on your account. I didn't do it on my own account. I did it on your account. I was doing the sunscreen and I brought your sunscreen, Ava sunscreen, to Mexico.
Yes.
And I woke up and I was like, I'm just gonna record myself like applying the sunscreen. And I felt like I watched my skin get smooth with the sunscreen and all nice. And that 1 second I was like, I feel like I don't really need makeup.
And you know what? I didn't even think of it that way. Like I didn't realize it's such a big moment because I'm so used to seeing you without makeup.
Yeah. I know.
So to me, it was like seeing you like wash your face in the morning, but I thought it's so cute. But you're right, you did it. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And when I think about it, I was like,
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I was surprised that I did because I never like if you would have asked me probably 2 years ago, I'd be like, hell no. Like so much has changed. I feel like before when I first moved to LA, I was like always applying fake eyelashes. Now I never wear fake eyelashes. I just do it myself.
Eyelashes are so long.
Mm-hmm. I've been doing the serum. I was like, I just want to let my own eyelashes grow and kind of just like, I don't know, just definitely like taking care of myself, but like in a beauty way.
You got a lot more into your skincare.
Yeah. I want to talk about your experience.
Yes.
Being on a TV show. Would you say he's a TV doctor or a regular doctor? Because this man, Dr. Phil, calls himself doctor. So, and you're married to a doctor. So what would be the difference between the two of them?
Well, one's a medical doctor, right? And then Dr. Phil's a PhD doctor who specializes in mental health. Yeah. So I actually thought he was going to be like a TV doctor.
Right. So, that's kind of what I thought too, because I didn't really know like I was impressed, totally impressed. Yeah, like it definitely, my experience was like changed because you like I feel like you have a certain like expectation or thought of someone. You see them on TV, you're like, because this is how I've seen you, like this is how I think they are, right? So I was like, oh, he's like a TV doctor, like helps people that are going through troubles or whatever, or, like issues between the family. But then when we met him, I was like, oh, he's actually really nice, and it's more like he actually tries to get to know you, and it's not just like, oh, I'm here. Exactly. For, like, me, like. And we read people really well. Like we know when it's bullshit. You're reading the bullshit. For me, I was reading the face. Right. So we were analyzing it. And you know what? I can tell you, Dr. Phil looks really good close up. And I was looking at his makeup because they put makeup on. You have to, yeah, of course. And I thought, oh, his makeup looks really good. And then I met his makeup artist. You did? No way. Oh, cool. And because we had our makeup done when we went to the show. So I met the lady that does the makeup. But I thought he had good makeup, and I thought he looked really upfront, like he had never had anything done. Yeah, no, he looks good, healthy. He's aging very well, I have to say, Dr. Phil. I feel like he looks the same. It's so funny. ever since we did that show, Dr. Phil, I feel like I see Dr. Phil everywhere on TV now. Like everywhere. Like I was like, oh, I want to watch a scary movie, like super random, like during like October. I was like, yeah, let's watch a scary movie. He's in Scary Movie. He's in that. He literally is with Shaq. He's in the scene with Shaq, and they're like,
God, he is everywhere.
He's literally everywhere, and he's like, "Do I chop my leg off to like save?" Like it was. I was like, "What?"
Oh, the dilemma. What
I was like, Dr. Phil is acting. Like
you chop one off.
And then guess what? I'm on Netflix 2 days ago. Like I was watching the Jonas Brothers roast because I still love the Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, of course. How could you not?
You weren't insane.
And guess who manages the Jonas Brothers? Dr. Phil's son.
I know that.
So
he told me that.
Right. He told us that, but I totally had forgotten. And so I'm watching the roast, and it's like the Jonas Brothers are there, and it's a roast is like when people are like kind of making jokes about you, but it's all like love and
his son
fun.
Performs with them. His son's a performer. He's performing.
Oh, really? Yes. Okay, that all makes so much more sense. Because all of a sudden they're like, and Dr. Phil's coming out to roast the Jonas Brothers, and I was like, what? I was like, he's everywhere, and then it hit me, and I was like, oh my god, I remember on the boat he told us. My son, like,
right,
yeah.
He gets around that guy.
He's everywhere. I'm like, Dr. Phil's
God bless his heart. I love him. So yeah, I'm a fan.
But tell me, like, was it when you first, because you didn't apply to the show, Ben applied to the show. We both didn't apply to the show. So when you found out first that you were going to be on a TV show, what was your thought? Like, what were you thinking?
So for me, it was an opportunity for me to speak about addiction, and I lost a child to addiction, and my passion is educating others. And we started a charity together called Life 319. So I thought, if there's any opportunity, we talked about this. If there's any opportunity we have to talk about this problem, the drug epidemic that's literally destroying everything to reduce stigma, then that was the whole goal of doing it. But that wasn't what it was for. Right. It was supposed to be a family reality show.
But so we weren't told that. We didn't know that.
But that was for me, I thought, if somehow I have any kind of opportunity, if I ever get any kind of like camera on me, I'm going to say that.
100%.
Right. I'm going to get the word out there. So that was my like reason for doing it. Yeah. But it was very interesting to see how everything works. Like, this is your job.
But were you shocked that you got chosen in a sense? Like, did you ever in a million years think, I'm going to be on a TV show on CBS, prime time at 8 p.m.? Like, never. Like, I mean, I'm in the film industry, and I like, so I've obviously like thought about like, how cool would it be to be on TV or like a movie about, but then like when it actually happens, and then it's like with your family, which I never expected to happen. Right. That was crazy.
That is crazy.
It hit me. So I'm like, how did you feel that? Because I was already like shocked, and I'm in the industry. So I'm like, how did you like what were you thinking? Like, oh my God, like everyone's going to see me, or did you not think about other people seeing you?
No, I didn't. I didn't think about other people seeing me. I thought it seemed surreal. I thought like, is it even happening? Is it even happening? I thought that was not going to happen. And then
it's not going to happen.
When it did, and remember the night before I had a panic attack, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like the last moment I did freak out, and I shouldn't be doing this.
She's like, are we doing the right thing?
Remember your mission, stay on.
Yeah. So I'm going to like just take it back, because I haven't talked about the Dr. Phil show at all, and like our experiance on it. It's like, if I ever talk about the episode, it has to be with you, because you're the star of the show. You are.
No.
If you go watch it right now, and then you tell me who's the star of the show. But yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go on the CBS app and go to episode.
House Calls with Dr. Phil,
or
episode 2.
Sorry, episode 2.
Yeah.
And you'll see her face.
so I was told that the show was a reality show about families,
which is so broad. That could literally be anything.
And then I was like, the mom. And to me, it's like reality shows would be like the kids going out and fighting and drinking and doing things like that.
Right.
And so I knew that as the mom, I thought I'm representing the mom.
Kris Jenner? No, just kidding.
No,
she thought she was going to be Kris Jenner. I was going to be Kim.
Yeah, I thought I'm representing a mom, the mom who I am. I am a cool Latina. Mom. I'm a Mexican American woman. And I'm not going to change that, to fit the profile of what an American mom should be. I am an American mom. Yeah. So I thought, I'm just going to be myself, and myself would care about having my hair done.
Of course.
Looking good.
It's a brand new show. So we couldn't look anything up about the show. We didn't know like all
It
we knew
existed.
was
We didn't know it existed.
right. It was like a concept idea. So the whole time during the process of like auditioning, we didn't like go in and be like, we didn't like read lines and stuff like that. It was more like, let's do Zoom meetings and get to know you, and like individual videos of like family dynamics, who's close with who, is there issues, is there no issues, like what's the situation. And I feel like I'm very close with everyone, so I really didn't have any issues with anyone.
But we're a family, so every family has issues.
Right. And there were some moments where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to say something, but it doesn't mean I have an issue with you. I just don't agree with you in that moment.
Or just even the little things.
Right.
The little things like, she said she was going to bring up pie and she showed up with cupcakes, right? Or nothing like that. In our family, that's kind of conflict we have, right? It's petty little drama that's more for fun than anything.
Exactly. It's not like real like issues. It's more just like stupid stuff that like, it's like really.
Or so we thought.
Right. Exactly.
Or so we thought.
So everyone's like sending in their own videos. No one knows like who's saying what about who, or like, what's going on, except the producers, because they're essentially like the director, because they're kind of like absorbing all the information of what we're all saying. And then they're like, okay, we're going to pick and choose what we're going to ask them during their interview. And that was like the first thing we did is our interviews. And she was the first interview. She went into it super blind and was just like thrown into it, which I'm like, props to you.
Right. Because you don't know, right? You don't know. We didn't know. From the very beginning, we didn't know. We thought we were, our son, or my husband and I, or her cousin, my son had signed up to be on this reality show. Which
Ben has been on episode 18 in the film industry in Atlanta. So if you want to learn more about Ben, check out that episode.
No, Ben was, right. Ben was on an episode.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense. He was like, he was in Atlanta. Then he came back to San Jose and was like, I want to, still pursue something in the industry. I don't want to just like have it be done because I moved back. And so he went on Backstage, applied for, he's like it said like big television production, looking for a family, like, and he went for it.
I asked him. I never
because
saw
after
it.
everything that had happened, I was like, Ben, we never talked about how this all happened. Like, how did it happen?
Right.
I'm just so curious.
It just kind of happened, and we're the kind of family.
Just
that
one day, I feel like I woke up and it was
it.
like, hey, do you want to be on a show? And I was like, yeah, I want to be on a show. Like, like what? No, I don't want to be on a show.
And for me, I thought like, yeah, right. Like, there's so many families out there. Why would they pick your family?
Right.
Or our family.
If you're an actor, Backstage is the place to go. I mean, whenever I make any films or anything, I always go to Backstage.
Really?
Always. That's my go-to. Because you can literally put a description of what you're looking for. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like a dating profile, but for, actors. You put everything about you, like hobbies, like stuff that you're good at. Like
anybody can do it?
Yeah. Anybody could do it. Like if you are interested in becoming an actor, like reality TV star, whatever, like you can make this. I have one too, but it's for directing. So it's a little different. But basically he told me, he's like, I went on that website. I'm like,
how did he even know about it?
Well, he was living in Atlanta and like he was going to auditions and big. So he like heard about it from there, and then he just, you can switch the city.
Oh, and he was on an extra on some TV.
Yeah, exactly. So like it works everywhere. You don't have to just be in LA or in California for that website. It works in all the states. I think it actually works all around the world. I think they expanded it. So it's like wherever you are, you can go on this website and like look for gigs around your area. And some gigs are bigger than others, obviously. Right. So I don't think Ben knew how big this gig was. And then and he told me, he's like, he wrote like this long email describing everyone in the family, like their relationships.
Oh, right. I don't even know about that. So he actually said, don't you wonder how he described that?
Yeah. No, that's why I was like trying to investigate it. I was like, so what did you say?
Right. He never did say what he said.
No, I know. Still to this day, I don't know. But he apparently wrote something and they liked it. But they didn't even get back to him until 4 months later.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So for 4 months, it never was talked about again. It was never a thought in anyone's mind. It was just like, oh, whatever.
He never even told me that his original application. He never mentioned it to me.
Probably, but that's probably smart too. It's like, don't get anyone excited until you get, like, and then apparently they reached out like months later and they're like, hey, are you still interested in doing this? Because we really like you. And they're like, can you send us more videos, hop on a Zoom call? And
that's when he reached out to the family. Right?
Exactly. So Ben was he was like, okay, who wants to be in the show? Who doesn't? Like some people are more camera shy than others. So some people were like, I'll do it right away.
Most of the families put me in front of a camera. I'm good.
Yeah, most of the family's totally comfortable.
Right.
But there was a few that are like a little hesitant at first,
Right.
kind of not really their vibe, which I get. Not everybody wants to like put it all out there, but for us, we felt differently about it. We're like, this is our opportunity to shine light on something that is really important. We have some good footage
to release.
I know. I'm like, and we shot so much footage that didn't get put in the episode. I'm like,
pretty much 90%, right? Yeah.
I'm like, that's some good like footage.
Family album stuff,
exactly.
right?
Family home videos.
Right, family home videos.
So yeah, after that, and once, you know, Brenda was like, I'm on board, it was kind of like official. Like, it was like, there's no going back. It's happening.
Were you worried about doing it because what you do as a director is so respected, serious, like?
So for me, my main concern was like, I was like, okay, I'm trying to be a director, but I'm going to be on a reality TV show.
Right.
And the problem with reality TV is, what I was worried about is like, I don't know how they're going to edit me. I don't know how they're going to cut it, because I'm in the industry. I've edited. I know, because I've done it myself.
You know, you're just started your career. You're a movie director.
Yeah.
People really take you serious sometimes, right? In that business.
It is a serious role, because you're seen as like someone controlling the whole creative aspect of the film. So it's like, I was worried that it might ruin my reputation as a director. Like, but at the same time, I had to also like think about the bigger picture. I don't want to be like your stereotypical like old school director where it's like you can only do one thing, only do this. I'm not like that.
Right.
I feel like I can do so much more. Like I felt that same thing in school too. My teachers always told me you should choose one genre to be a director of. Because I always was like, I want to direct dramas. I want to direct a comedy. I want to direct this, because I feel like I can do it, because I know I can do it. And so when my teachers kept telling me like, you should pick one genre, because it might make you seem like you don't know what you want if you're like and I took that very personal. I was like, oh, okay. I don't want to seem like I don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, I guess I'll be a director for dramas, you know, because that seemed kind of what I was doing a lot, like with Miha and like.
Oh, you mean, I didn't even know that that's a thing that you do one kind of, like, you mean somebody
like a certain style
is writing comedy,
right? Like Adam Sandler, if you think of him, it's always comedy. But recently,
that's true.
He did Uncut Gems, and he was a total serious role, which I'm like, why? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like you're letting actors hop around from funny to like serious. So why can't a director do that, right?
Gosh, good for you.
So that's how I felt, and I was like, I'm gonna exactly, and I was like, I'm proving everyone wrong, because I'm like, that's not. Like, I don't feel like you should be boxed in like that. Because I feel like, I've had a lot of dramatic things happen, which I'm like, would make a great movie. But I've also had a lot of funny, happy moments too, where I'm like, people should see that too. Like, I'm not just like dramatic and sad all day. You know what I mean?
So it's your artistic expression to tell different stories of yourself.
Well, I honestly feel like directors are also very like, like the stereotype is like, either you're a guy, or it's like you are a female director, but you're like, you have to wear like a turtleneck and you're like conservative. And I'm like, that's cool, but like you can be that. But I feel like I want to be that director that if I'm shooting a movie in Mexico and it's a beach movie, I might be the director in a bikini shooting it. Like, I don't know. I want to break the stereotype. I don't want it to be so like.
You want it to be everything, or just be all aspects of yourself.
Yeah. And then another thing is like being a pretty girl as it, people don't take you as seriously, because like, oh, she's just a pretty face. That's probably how she got here. And it's like, wrong. I worked hard to get there. But I feel like, you know, one thing, like when you have a big company and you have a ton of people working for you, you might not know everyone, right? And it's like, it's kind of like that with directing too. You have huge film sets, but it's like, you know who they are, you know their name, you know what their position is, because you can't make a movie by yourself. Like, it's director has a big title, but it's selfish to think that like you're the big boss and this is only, like, it's not like, but you can't make a movie without everyone.
That's what everyone thinks. Because I always thought the director, the producer, those are like that's what you see on the credits.
Yeah, right? It's always, I know, which I think is very stupid too, the above the line. Like, I feel like we have to just change wording on things too. It's like, why are you saying above the line? Are you saying like those people are better than the people holding like the lights or like setting up the lights? Like, that doesn't seem fair. But back to your question.
I love that. Oh
no, I really feel that. Like, I've had this conversation on my podcast.
Yeah, but that's so you.
But it's just the truth. That's how I really feel. I'm like, I feel like everything else is evolving and changing. Like, why is the film industry not? Right. You know what I mean? So when the reality TV opportunity came, I was like, shit, like, I don't know if this is a good look, because I'm trying to be a director, but then someone's going to look me up and I'm on a TV show. Like, maybe like they'll cut me fighting or arguing with someone who knows. Right. So I was like, that might not be a good look. But at the same time, I'm like, I might never even get an opportunity like this. When am I ever going to get an opportunity to be on a show to talk about something that means so much to me, something that really affected me? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do it. Because I also felt like, I don't want to be like, I want to be able to be in directing, podcasting, writing, and be on a reality TV show. Like, why not?
Why not?
Why put I mean, bringing it back to Kim Kardashian, she was a reality TV star. Right. She is a beauty like mogul, literally, and now she's studying law. So it's like you literally can do whatever you want.
Right, right. That's breaking barriers to make it okay. Because I didn't feel like that when I was your age. No way. Yeah. I didn't feel like that. There's so many other. When I was young, like the idea of beauty was like Cheryl Tiegs and Christy Brinkley. So they were very different than what I looked like. Yeah. They were like, little butts. Yeah. And they were more of a thin, like straight figure. Shout out
the little booties.
Yeah. No, I mean, little booties are amazing and every body type is great, but that's just all that I saw. So that was the look. So it's changed so much.
It has.
Totally. My goodness. Yeah. It's like you can have those cookies or you can do a little cheat and still feel like I'm still, look good.
No, totally. I mean, I feel like you have to be able to enjoy a little bit of like
but right, so to be able to be it all, right? Be the mom, be the director.
Well, that's exactly what you were doing too. Like you have a med spa, you're a mom, but you're also on a TV show, Dr. Phil. So I can't even imagine what your neighbors, your friends, your clients, but like what. Right. Like what kind of questions do you get asked? Like, how did that even happen? Like, are people shocked when they like, or was it almost expected from you? Like, no, I could see you doing that, Brenda.
They could see me doing that, but I think that it shows other women that you can start a charity, you can, take care of your kids, you can have a business, you can do it all if you have to. Right. Yeah. If you don't want to, don't do it. But if you want to, you can. I'm really big into manifestation. Like we sell manifestation candles here.
Yeah, exactly.
In our wellness center and medical spa, we do meditation classes. We are really into crystals.
Holistic healing.
Right. Holistic healing all the way, everything. But you can walk in your Pradas and your walk up. Right? Or sneakers. And your walk up, right?
Exactly.
All of that.
So when you had to do this 3-hour psych test for the show, what were your thoughts? Were you like, oh, this is pretty serious?
That's a great question because my first thought was to be on the reality show, to have my kids on a reality show. Dr. Phil is having them totally valid to send in a psychiatrist. They're doing this test. They're not getting this in school. Like they're not getting this in school, right?
We never talked about mental health or anything like that in school ever. I learned that like towards the end of college.
Right. But look, just to be on the Dr. Phil show, you go through so much. Like they really screen you. And then they have a therapist contact you with anything that they see. They analyze it. They help you. And I thought this needs to be done in high school. Like this needs to be mainstream. Everybody gets. Right?
And I feel like therapy should be talked about or more normalized. Like I feel like we're so used to like guys shouldn't talk about their feelings or be sensitive and stuff. I'm like, no, like talk about your feelings, let that shit out.
Yeah. So when you're filling out the questionnaire, and come on, you're reading it, you're thinking, oh my God, am I crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, do you hear voices in your head? I'm like, do I hear my own voice? Like, am I crazy?
Yeah. And like, oh, of course I hear voices, but what should I write?
Right. Yeah. And it was like, yes, no, maybe.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Right. But the good thing is that they ask you it so many ways that you can answer truthfully and still come out with whatever it is you come out with. Yeah. Whether you need help or not.
Yeah. And they really I mean, it wasn't just like, oh, we pick you and we're doing the show tomorrow. Like it was like a months process, like back and forth emails, back and forth Zoom calls, back and forth videos, like back and forth sending them photos. They wanted photos from like when like our childhood, when her and her husband first met, like everything, like just, really taking a walk down memory lane.
Well, you're basically exposing everything.
Yeah.
Like you're exposing.
And you're signing that too. Right. Like, I mean,
it's real.
It says it in the contract. Like you are giving us permission to post whatever we film, which is a huge, it's a little nerve wracking. At that moment, I was like, oh shit, like whatever they film, like, they can use.
But at the same time, I had the producers call me and they said, Brenda, is there anything that you feel you wouldn't want seen or that really hurts you or goes against your beliefs, or how do you feel about it? They really, really care about that. Yeah. But you know what I told them? The same thing. I'm like, you know what? Show it all. You know, you're telling a beautiful story. I want it to be told
the right way.
The right way of a family coming together, right? Of us coming together.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Which isn't how it started, because they only used 10% of what they had, right?
Which is another thing. Like, I feel like I got this, a lot of people ask me this question. They're like, how many days did you guys shoot? We shot for like
a week,
but out of all the footage they used, they probably only used like 1 or 2 days worth of footage.
Right.
So
the rest they threw out.
Yeah, it's like sitting on the shelf somewhere collecting dust.
That's what we want back.
Yeah, right? No, that's what I was like. So can I get my confessional? I just want to see what I said. Honestly, I don't even.
For our family,
that's another thing I wanted to address. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been interviewed, like one-on-one. Like, that shit's intense. I think I blacked out like the whole time. Like, it's like you're there, but you're like, you kind of forget everything out. Like, I walked out and I was like, wait, what did I just say? You tell them how it looks, though, because that's the more important thing, because you don't know. You're going for a confessional. And when you see a confessional on TV, it looks like they're just talking into like a selfie camera. Not even at the house. So they're like, we're going to shoot at your house. So everything was shot at their house. And you get comfortable at your house. Comfortable, that's because you know every room. Right. You see like where they're hiding the cameras. Yeah. Like, okay, you forget about don't say anything on like in this room, right? You tried it. But then you're in another room, you're like, oh crap, we just had a little like, fallout. Don't pick your butt, like anything like that, right? So we were like, okay, we got this shit. But then they're like, we're gonna do the interviews first day. And we're like, okay, a little nervous. And they're like, the interviews are gonna be at a hotel. So not even anywhere we could see. And so we're like, oh, okay. And she was the first one up. So it was really like just we didn't know what we didn't know what to expect at all. Yeah. And they like, are you ready, Brenda? And like they put her in like a blue van or no, black van. No, I wanted to drive myself. I said, no, I'll drive myself. You said that? Yes, I wanted to drive myself. But before this, remember, you're filming at the house, so things had happened. So at that point, there was like a little tension between my husband and I. Yeah. And we were going to go film. And then I said, I'm going to drive myself. And they're like, no. And they actually send someone with you. Right. Yeah. Jody was with me. Yes. And she's in there the whole time. And she's like just total positive and giving you love. And like, oh, it's, you've been through a lot. Yeah. Like they were very, so you're taken very good care of. And you're not left alone to be like, screw this, I'm leaving. Yeah. Which is good, because I feel like if you do have that time in the car by yourself, you're like, what's the right? Like, why am I gonna? You could overthink it for sure. No, definitely. Yeah. So she leaves in this little black van. I'm like, there she goes. And then goodbye. And then she didn't come back for like 3 hours. And that was supposed to be like an hour interview. She just was so entertaining. They were like, keep going. No, we get to the hotel, and I was like, wow. But describe what you see. We don't know that this is Dr. Phil, because remember, we think we're on a pilot reality show. We didn't. They never said Dr. Phil ever. So you think like no one's ever going to see this? Who cares? Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, if this goes down bad, it'll never be seen. Right. It's like whatever. And then when we get to the hotel and we go into the lobby, and we ended up in a banquet room, in a banquet room where we had our own family party. At the DoubleTree. And then I thought, wow, for a low budget, like I know it costs money to rent things out. This is pricey. Silicon Valley. Yeah. Things do not come for free. A banquet room, that's huge. So they had rented out the whole banquet room, and then they had all this camera set up. And I was like, wow, not one camera, not two. Not 3, probably 4. At least 4. Yeah. At least 4 with the whole crew. Not one light, not 4 lights, but like 20 lights. Exactly. And a giant green screen. Yeah. So you don't know what's going to be behind you. No, guess what happened? So your outfit. Yes. I showed up there. God, and then somebody in the back, way back, said, that color's not going to show up right with the green screen or whatever, that thing. Because she was wearing a blue dress with green, like flowers on it. And the flowers had like green leaves or something on it, or like something green on it. So it was like the green screen with her little green leaves. It was like going through her. Yeah. So they actually had to bring her back. Somebody got called out for that outfit. Really? Right. Because they're like, she's going to be wearing that. Because they actually check your outfit before. I think that's why they wear whatever you want, but they look at what you're wearing. It's like, what are you wearing? Yeah. That looks nice. Yeah, that's true. Very positive always. Yeah. Yeah. So they made her change because they're like, it's just they did. Yeah. They changed out. Were you pissed or were you like, fine? No,
I wasn't upset about it at all. It just prolonged the nervousness of, for me, for someone like you, you're comfortable. For someone like me, the camera makes me a little nervous.
I'm comfortable behind the camera. I'm not really in front of the camera like that. So I'm just like, when I was like, oh my God, I was like, is there anything in my teeth? Does my like hair look good? Is my hair sticking up? I'm like,
you start going to get in your head.
Yeah. And I was like, am I like making sense? Am I saying the right word? Because you get one question. It's like, you want to answer it like correct. You want it to be a good answer, but you also have to repeat the question back, which can also like psych you out a little bit. Like, wait, what did she say? I have to repeat it and then answer it.
Right, exactly. So you don't know what they're going to ask. So then they drive me back there, and that's a whole nother half hour. Yeah, where I'm starting to think like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then the producer's like, you're good. You're good. But when I finally got in there, it's intimidating because you're sitting on a chair, and then you're in the light, and then there's people in the dark.
It almost sounded like a press conference. Like she was like
that's
the president.
What it looks like. That's exactly.
Like literally, that's what I felt like it was.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is intense. I didn't know like confessionals were like this.
Right. And then you just start talking. Yeah. And then before you know it, you forget about the camera and you're just telling your life story. Yeah. Right.
And if you feel like a key thing I noticed is like, if you feel comfortable with the producers and they are asking the question, like you feel comfortable with them, right? So you're just like, it's almost like you're just having a conversation with them. But then you realize like, oh shit, that whole thing was on camera.
Because I've heard of people like insinuating that they were kind of coached on what to say or manipulated. So that's what you think deep down. You don't want to believe that, but you think that could happen.
Well, I actually had a friend who was on an MTV reality TV show, and he told me that the producers told him that if you want more screen time, then you are going to go instigate this, or you have to go.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So they would offer that to like a group of guys, like, hey, if you want more screen time,
like, who's going to do that?
Chelsea's like looking lonely in the corner. You should go approach her. Like whoever approaches Chelsea's going to get screen time in a sense. So then it's like, okay, which one of the guys is going to do it? Hopefully more than one guy. And then it starts drama. You know what I mean? So it's smart. It's like, you're like, I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of expected because you hear rumors, but you actually know someone that it happened to.
Literally, when he told me, I was like, that makes so much sense. So that's why I was like, oh no, what are they going to say?
Right. But I never felt that, not in this particular situation.
This was very different.
They never told me what to say. They never coached me.
Yeah, which was huge because I feel like they could have done that, but they didn't. I feel like that's what made it more authentic. And
they could have made it like we could have had it out.
Yeah.
Right. No, we're ready to, at one point we're gunning for it.
We almost thought about it. We're like, I feel like that's what they want. Like, but then it's like, that's not what they
didn't want that.
Which is cool.
But we, at one point we did, because everything's kept so real and you're going through emotions. And at one point you and I were mad at 2 other family members and we're like, you know what? We're going to let them have it.
Yeah. We just looked at each other like, can't believe you said that.
Yeah. You know the look that you know with your family.
Look. It's like the look.
With your besties, you just look at them and you know what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay, but let's talk about the most iconic moment of the show.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's Dr. Phil. I feel like that's like, they used that in the trailer to promote the show.
And
so that is the clip.
You weren't shocked. Come on, you were shocked.
You're too cool. When it happened, I was like, they're for sure going to use that shit. Because it was perfect. It was a real reaction too. It wasn't fake. Like she actually was so surprised that Dr. Phil walked in. And then
mouth dropping.
I was frozen. I couldn't even say anything. I didn't even react.
She's too cool.
Well, actually, no, what happened? This is how it went down. So my back is faced to the door because they wanted us to kind of like sit like in a circle-ish to like be talking and stuff. Obviously, they had Ben start the conversation. They're like, you know, make a little juicy, like start pointing fingers at people and stuff. So that started kind of happening. And I'm like sitting there with my back face of the door, like basically like, y'all better not come for me because I'm gonna come back. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I hear a door open behind me. And then I just see everyone freeze, like,
oh, you
like that
after we did.
I didn't see him. I just see his face. So like I just see like everyone's like,
oh my God,
like just frozen, and then Antoine's like, oh my God, it's Dr. Phil. And I was like, what? And I like turn around and I'm just like, hi, Dr. Phil. Like just and then he's like, do you mind if I sit there? And I was like, yeah.
But he has the presence.
Yeah. And
He
he's
has a
also very
presence.
tall.
He's a big
I was
guy.
Hello.
And
And he
then
has big
yeah,
blue eyes too. So it's like, you
Right.
definitely notice him.
definitely has a presence. And you are a little bit like starstruck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that I would be starstruck with
This
Dr.
man has
Phil.
been in the industry for like
Right.
over 30 years. Like this is a OG celeb,
Right.
you know? And now he's standing in our living room about to, who knows? We didn't know what he was going to do.
Right.
So in that moment, we're like, oh my God, what? Dr. Phil's in our living room, hanging out with us. Like,
Right.
what?
Right. I don't see myself as the kind of person that gets celebrity struck. So
Yeah. Or like
the fact that it
fangirling hard.
happened, right.
Yeah.
When I saw him, I was like, oh my God. I watched him when I was younger. I watched him with my son. We watched him
Yeah.
together. So,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh my God, are we that messed up that they're actually bringing in Dr. Phil?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. And then all of a sudden he's literally staring into my soul. I'm like, holy shit, Dr. Phil is here. And then I'm like,
With those eyes.
yeah. And then he's like, I'm here to talk because someone in your family told me there's some conflict. And then
Right.
we're all like looking at you like, who
Who is it? Who was it?
And guess who it was? Ben.
Ben.
Knew
Yes. He
like
knew all along.
that whole time. And he actually could keep that secret.
Right.
Which is huge. I don't think I could have kept that secret.
couldn't have.
I would have been like, oh my God, Dr. Phil's coming, you guys. What are we gonna do? But I'm glad that he was the one because they got the
He's
honest
like
reaction.
Ben's very, he's not gonna break.
They got what they wanted. They got our honest reaction, which was
right.
just shocked. But yeah, so he sits down and the point of the show was also just to be more comfortable talking about your feelings,
Right.
with your
Bringing the family together.
uncomfortable situations. I mean, I feel like everyone has been in that situation where you're like, I don't really want to talk about that because
Right.
it's like uncomfortable or like might
Especially
trigger
now,
something
right, during the holidays.
Yeah. And with the pandemic happening
Right.
too, like it's just everyone's kind of been like keeping their feelings in and stuff. So
Mhm.
it was definitely interesting to have an outsider really push you to like do that push, nudge to talk. And like sometimes I feel like talking about my feelings gets awkward and uncomfortable. But I did like having like him there because I felt like, yeah, it's good to have like a mediator.
Mhm.
Exactly.
During the pandemic, I feel like we were isolated. So we weren't seeing all our friends, we weren't seeing our coworkers. So our family, we had to see them.
Yeah.
Right. Whether we liked it or not, we were spending more time with them.
Yeah.
So you were aware if there were any problems. You were either not
or if things weren't being addressed. Sometimes
each other's nerves.
Sometimes things just not talk. Like we think like not addressing something is better, but then as time goes on, it gets worse, and that's not always the case. So I feel like one thing I took away from the show is like if you're feeling some type of way, address it, because the longer you wait, it's just going to get worse, and the more time and distance you get in between it, it's not the right move.
Because what people tend to do is throw little digs, right?
Exactly.
Do you ever do that? Come on, everyone does. Of course, with their partners or
everyone
family
does.
members.
And if you don't, if you're shaking your head now, you're in denial. Calling you out.
Right. We got called out. For how, because I didn't see myself that way. We all see ourselves.
No, but I felt the same way.
Right?
Like he was saying things, and this whole time I was like, no one understands what I'm feeling. Only I'm feeling this way. But then when we were all sharing how are you feeling, and this, like, it all was kind of very similar. Like we were all feeling the same way, but nobody like was saying it,
Right.
So I think that was cool to be able to like have that be the end result. Like, I don't know, being aware of your feelings and stuff. I think it was helpful to move forward. I mean, nothing's going to just go away overnight because that's not real. No, you have to talk about it. Therapy really does work. Yeah. So it's a thing. Yeah. And then you got invited back to the real Dr. Phil show, and it's not even out yet, right? So you probably can't give away too much. Oh my God. So she and her and Uncle Terry were the only ones that got flown out. Well, they wanted Ben too, but Ben is in Paris right now. Right. So he's going to get his master's degree. He's exactly. So they were like, you guys still have to come and like talk about what I don't even know. They just flew you out there and they wanted to talk about like where are they now kind of a thing. I think so. And at this point, I already knew that the show was going to be focused on addiction and supporting families who have gone through something like this or any kind of grief, complicated grief. So I was excited to go because I thought this is really good. Yeah. This is good. I want the word out. It's a good message. But I was nervous about going on the show. Because it's live. It's live. You had an audience? I kind of clammed up though, to be honest. Honestly,
I did.
that's so scary. I can't even think about walking on a stage. You see,
and they don't tell you that.
They didn't tell you it was live?
I thought that in my mind, I thought it was going to be like before where Dr. Phil's there and then we're going to sit out, we're going to talk with us. But when you walk out, they said go through the store.
Okay.
And when you walk through the store, it's almost like a fashion runway.
Oh my.
And you walk and then you're walking and then you realize that there's people all over. You walk onto stage and there's people everywhere. And then I looked up because I thought, oh my gosh, I was getting nervous. And I looked up and then they had screens everywhere, TV screens of
your face,
virtual people, virtual audience to add even more pressure.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And were they showing like clips of the show? Like,
I don't even know. By the time you walk out there, it seems like they know who you are.
Right,
so they must have watched the pre-clip before, and then Dr. Phil kind of checks in with you. And I remember like kind of freezing at one point. Like,
so to you, that was more nerve-wracking than the actual show.
Yeah. So it turns out filming
even though that was like
not very hard.
It's natural.
You're just
like, I was just being myself.
Right. But you know that, right?
No, I felt like it too because you're not. There's no lines.
Right.
You're not pretending to be like you're being yourself. Maybe a little heightened, a little extra, but like essentially you're being yourself. So
right, you're just being yourself, and that's what they want. Just be yourself.
Exactly.
And you never know when the camera is on you, so. You're just, you do you.
And sometimes they use other clips, but they're using the audio, like voiceovers from another, like from an interviewer, professional.
Do?
Yeah. Like they did that.
They can put in.
Right. They can take the audio from another clip and put it on top of.
Right. You said it. You really said it, but they can put it anywhere they want as to show. Right.
But would you say that you are happy with the end result of how the episode turned out?
I would say that I am very happy with the way the episode turned out. And they could have portrayed our family any way that they wanted. They could have told any story, but they told an important story. And they told a story that was dear to their heart. The crew shared stories with us. So they were very passionate about telling this particular story. Yeah. And
I think I'm happy that we were able to be a part of this as well, like a new show that is focusing on helping on the uncomfortable, on the stuff that's very taboo and not talked about. So I'm glad that we're part of that wave. I feel like that's a cool thing to do, and we did it together.
We did it together.
My first reality TV show was my family.
Right,
like how cool is that?
They were very respectful to the children. They took really good care of them.
Yeah, they had a teacher. We got co-tested every day. It was every single day, but safety first, of course.
Safety first. Now that when you're on set,
guess what? I worked on the Paramount set and I walked by Dr. Phil's studio on the side.
Oh, really?
And I just thought about it. Should I just walk in and be like, what's up, Dr. Phil? Remember me?
Well, guess what? I heard that when I was there, they said, I asked one of the gentlemen that took us in, and I said, can you go up and say hi, Dr. Phil? They said, no, we're not supposed to talk to him.
Yeah, I mean,
because they said so many people want to kind of get a piece of him or touch him or ask him stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's overwhelming to be especially living in LA. I'm sure you have to determine who's actually trying to get to know you for you and who's trying to just use you because of your name. And I feel like he probably has to deal with that a lot.
Right.
He's such a big name that people probably throw themselves on him all the time.
Our driver, I asked him, so how's Dr. Phil and his wife, right? Robin and Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
And he said, Brenda, honestly, they're the nicest people. He said, they're so nice. You wouldn't even believe it. He goes, the way they treat us. He goes, and I work for a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
And he said,
that's amazing. That's great to hear because
he's good people.
Yeah. And you have to take care of your film crew. You know what I mean? Don't forget where you came from. Everyone started at some place. And just because you PA'd on one set doesn't mean that you can't direct the next time. And it always switches. You never know who's going to be working on what set. So be nice to everyone. That's what I've learned.
It's a family, right?
But I just want to applaud you for going on TV and speaking about something that was very close to your heart and uncomfortable at times as well. But you killed it. So I hope that, if there's anyone out there watching and there's I don't want to do this because I'm comfortable out of my comfort zone, go for it. Do it. We did it. And now we feel great. We were happy that we did it. At first we're is this a mistake?
but to
now,
get the word out there.
No regrets.
I felt that that's the only way I could really get the word out there
Yeah.
about Addicted to Life 319, a charity for those who have lost their children to addiction of any kind.
Yeah.
So that was the way to get it out there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, it was great. And thank you so much for coming on and talking about it on the podcast. I know sometimes it's not always comfortable to go back and talk about all that stuff. So, and just before we end, it's her birthday.
Yay! It's my birthday.
It's her birthday. It's her birthday.
For my birthday, Chris is giving me a
got her on the
podcast. As my gift. It's a twerking lesson, right? After the show.
But before we head out, throw out any social media for people to follow you. I mean, I know all your handles.
Nurse B. Blay.
Addicted to Life 319.
Addicted to Life 319.
If you need a support group, we're always there. Ava Rejuvenation, if you want to come get some work done or a facial, you know.
Yeah. You can get your lips big. You can get a meditation class. You can get it all
facial, you can get lasered, whatever you want. Taking home a lifetime
Botox lifetime supply.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Bye.